For tens of thousands of years, two great hunters shared the cold, harsh world of the Ice Age. One was a small, clever, two-legged creature who had mastered the arts of fire and the sharpened stone. The other was a powerful, intelligent, four-legged creature who had mastered the arts of the pack and the coordinated hunt. For a long time, they were rivals, two successful predators competing for the same scarce food. But then, something remarkable happened. In the depths of a great winter, these two rivals, these two different kinds of families, began a slow, cautious dance that would change the course of history forever. Tonight, we do not tell a story of a beast being tamed. We tell the story of a bond being forged. This is the story of how the wolf, a creature of perfect wildness, chose to walk alongside man, and in doing so, became our first and most ancient companion. Before we begin, take a deep breath and let the room grow quiet. If these soft journeys bring you peace, feel free to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is there. It's always comforting to know who's resting alongside us tonight. Now, close your eyes and let the wilderness unfold. You awaken not to cold, but to warmth. It is the first and most fundamental truth of your young life. You are a wolf, born into the heart of a large and powerful pack during the Great Ice Age. Your entire world is a soft, breathing, and deeply comforting heat. You are nestled in the heart of the den's sleeping chamber, a tangled pile of your brothers and sisters, their small, furry bodies pressed tightly against yours. The cold of the world outside, the howling wind and the deep, biting frost are just a distant, muffled rumor, a story of another world that cannot touch you here. In the warm, dark, and perfect safety of the den, your first sensation as consciousness slowly returns is the feeling of a sibling's soft, warm fur against your cheek, the gentle pressure of their small body, a constant, reassuring presence. You feel the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of their breathing, a gentle tide that rocks you even in your stillness, a shared breath in a shared world. The den itself is a symphony of quiet, peaceful sounds. From outside, the great, roaring voice of the winter wind is muted by many feet of earth and snow, reduced to a low, gentle, almost imperceptible hum. The silence inside is not an emptiness. It is a full and resonant silence, filled with the soft sounds of your family. You hear the deep, slow, and steady breathing of your mother, the great alpha female, who sleeps curled around her litter like a living fortress wall. You hear the occasional soft, sleepy whimper from one of your siblings as they chase a rabbit in a dream. You hear the gentle rustle as another repositions itself in the pile, a soft shifting of bodies that only serves to bring you closer together. These are the sounds of absolute safety, the music of your world, a lullaby that has been playing since the moment you were born. It is a quiet so profound and so full of life that it has seeped into your very bones, a sound that means you are home, you are loved, and you are protected. Your sense of smell awakens next, and it too tells a story of safety and belonging. The air in the den is thick with a single, complex, and beautiful scent, the scent of your pack. It is a warm, musky, and deeply familiar perfume, a combination of your mother's milky scent, the earthy smell of your father's coat, and the clean, sweet puppy smell of your own brothers and sisters. Underneath this, you can smell the den itself, the dry, cool scent of the packed earth, the faint, woody smell of the roots that form your ceiling, and the lingering, savory ghost of the last meal the pack shared. Every breath you take is an affirmation of your identity. This is the smell of family. This is the smell of home. It is a scent that is imprinted on your soul, a scent you will spend the rest of your life searching for, a scent that means you are exactly where you are supposed to be. This is your world, a small, dark, warm space, defined not by hardship, but by an overwhelming sense of security. Your every need is met. Your every fear is soothed before it can even form. The comfort is absolute. It is the perfect, simple, and beautiful existence of a creature that is a part of a greater whole, a single, small, and treasured piece of a strong, warm, and loving family. This is the foundation of your being. You are not a solitary creature. You are the pack, and the pack is you. You stretch a small paw, you let out a soft, contented sigh, and you allow yourself to drift back into the easy, dreamless sleep of the truly safe, a sleep cradled by the warmth and the sound and the scent of your family. As you grow, your world expands beyond the den and your senses. The incredible inheritance of your lineage begin to awaken to their full power. You are a hunter, a predator, and your senses are the tools that will ensure your survival and the survival of your pack. Your world is no longer just one of warmth and touch. It is now a vast and complex tapestry of information that you alone can read. Your sense of smell is the first to mature into its full, awesome power. It is a form of seeing that is far more powerful than your eyes. You stand at the edge of your dense sight, and with a single, deep inhale of the cold, crisp air, you can read the story of the entire landscape for miles around. You can smell the faint, musky trail of a snowshoe hare that passed by an hour ago. You can smell the subtle difference between a healthy pine tree and one that is sick. You can even smell the cold, hard, mineral scent of a distant rock face, a scent carried on the wind. Your hearing is just as magnificent. It is a great, sensitive net that you cast over the silent, snowy forest. You can sit perfectly still and distinguish the tiny, frantic heartbeat of a mouse hidden in its burrow deep beneath the snow. You can hear the soft, almost imperceptible whoosh of an owl's wings as it glides between the trees half a mile away. You can hear the distant, heavy crunch of a mammoth's footstep on the frozen tundra, a sound that is more a feeling in your bones than a true sound. Your ears, which can swivel independently of each other, allow you to create a perfect, three-dimensional map of the soundscape, to pinpoint the source of every rustle, every snap, every whisper of the wild. Your vision, too, is a powerful tool. In the bright glare of the snowy landscape, your pupils can contract to tiny points, protecting your eyes, but in the deep twilight of the long winter evenings, they can expand, gathering every last faint photon of light. The world at dusk is not a world of grey shadows to you. It is a world of incredible clarity, a world of soft blues and purples, where every movement stands out in sharp relief against the snow. You possess a layer in the back of your eye, the tapetum lucidum, that reflects light back through the retina, giving you a second chance to see every detail. It is what makes your eyes seem to glow in the dark, a quiet and beautiful secret of your nocturnal mastery. These three great smells, hearing, and sight work together in a constant, seamless symphony of information. You are a living sensor array, a creature that is in a state of constant, deep, and intimate communion with its environment. You do not just live in the world, you are woven into its very fabric. You are aware of everything that moves, everything that breathes, everything that lives and dies in your vast territory. This incredible sensory awareness is the first and most important part of your identity as a wolf. It is the source of your power, your confidence, and your ability to thrive in this harsh and unforgiving Ice Age world. As the evening descends and the pale full moon rises over the silent, snow-covered trees, the great ritual begins. Your father, the Alpha, stands on a high, rocky outcropping that overlooks your territory. He lifts his great head to the cold, clear sky, and he releases the first note. It is a long, deep, and impossibly mournful sound, a sound of pure, wild, and beautiful loneliness that echoes for miles across the frozen landscape. It is the beginning of the evening howl, the great social glue that holds your family together. This is not a random noise, an animal cry of hunger or of pain. It is a language, a complex and beautiful form of communication that is as rich and as meaningful as any spoken by the two-legged creatures. You sometimes smell on the wind. One by one, the other members of the pack join in. Your mother adds her voice, a higher-pitched, more melodious harmony that weaves itself around the Alpha's deep, resonant bass note. The other adults add their own unique voices, each with its own pitch, its own timbre, its own emotional color. Some howls are long and steady, some are short and staccato, some have a rising and falling vibrato. It is not a chaotic cacophony. It is a chorus. It is a symphony. The howls intermingle. They harmonize. They rise and fall together, creating a complex and hauntingly beautiful piece of music. This song is a declaration. It is a message sent out to every other creature in the forest. It says, "We are here. This is our land. We are strong, and we are together." It is a sonic fence, a way of marking your territory without conflict. You feel the vibrations of the howl in your own small chest, a deep and powerful resonance that calls to the most ancient part of your being, and you join in. You lift your own small head to the sky, and you release your own clumsy, high-pitched, and enthusiastic howl. Your voice is not as strong or as beautiful as the others, but it is a part of the chorus. And as your voice joins with the voices of your parents, your brothers, and your sisters, you feel a sense of belonging so profound and so complete that it is almost overwhelming. You are learning the language of your people. You are learning how to add your own unique voice to the song of your family. This nightly ritual is more than just communication. It is a form of emotional release, a way of reaffirming the social bonds that are the very foundation of your existence. It is a celebration of a successful hunt. It is a mourning for a lost pack member. It is a promise to face the dangers of the world together. It is the sound of your family's collective soul. And as the last notes of the great howl fade into the silent, starry night, a deep and profound sense of peace and security settles over you. You are not a solitary creature. You are a single voice in a beautiful, powerful, and eternal song. Your world is a world of immense scale, a world populated by creatures of a size and power that the modern age can only dream of. The Ice Age is the age of the megafauna, and you are a predator designed to live among these magnificent giants. Your daily life is a tapestry woven with the sights and sounds of these incredible beasts. You travel with your pack across the vast, windswept tundra, and you see the great herds. You see the woolly rhinoceros, a living battering ram covered in a thick, shaggy coat, its great horn held low to the ground as it clears a path through the deep snow. You see the Irish elk, a deer of impossible size, its antlers a great, sprawling forest of bone that can span 12 feet from tip to tip. They are a part of your landscape, magnificent and powerful subjects in the kingdom your pack rules. But the true kings of this world, the creatures that command your deepest respect and are the ultimate prize of your hunt, are the mammoths. You see them often, a great, shaggy, lumbering herd moving slowly across the plains. They are mountains of flesh and fur, their immense, curved tusks a formidable defense. You can feel the ground tremble with their passage from a mile away. You can hear the deep, resonant, and communicative rumbles that they make in their chests. To you, they are not just prey. They are a fundamental part of your world, a force of nature as powerful as the winter wind or the summer sun. Your own pack's stories, its legends, its very identity, are all built around the great and dangerous art of the mammoth hunt. This world of giants requires a different kind of existence. It is a world of high stakes and high rewards. A single, successful mammoth hunt, a feat of incredible courage, strategy, and teamwork, can feed your entire pack for a month. It means the difference between a winter of comfortable, well-fed sleep and a winter of desperate, gnawing hunger. It is the great gamble at the heart of your life. Every member of your pack, from the strongest hunter to you, the youngest pup, understands this reality. Life in this world is difficult, it is dangerous, and it is a constant struggle for survival. But it is also a world of immense, epic beauty. To stand on a ridge and watch a herd of mammoths move through a misty, primordial dawn is a sight of profound, almost spiritual power. To hear their great rumbling calls echo across the vast, empty tundra is to hear the true music of your time. You are a small creature in a world of giants. But you are not an insignificant one. You are a predator, a hunter, a key part of this magnificent and brutal ecosystem. You are a wolf, and this great, wild, and dangerous world is your home. You are not the only intelligent, cooperative hunter in this world. There is another, a creature whose presence you are increasingly aware of, a creature that is a source of deep and profound mystery to you. They are the two-legged hunters, the humans. You do not see them often. They are secretive, and they are wise enough to keep their distance from your pack's territory. But you know they are here. Your sharp senses tell you of their presence everywhere. You will be traveling through a silent pine forest, and you will suddenly cross a scent trail that is completely alien. It is not the scent of any animal you know. It is the scent of wood smoke, of tanned hides, of strange, cooked foods, and of the unique, unmistakable scent of the humans themselves. It is a scent that is both intriguing and unsettling. You find their tracks in the snow. They are strange, bipedal tracks, so different from the four-pod tracks of every other creature you know. Sometimes, you will find other signs of their passing, a discarded piece of chipped flint, sharp and unnatural, a strange, geometric carving on the trunk of a tree, a place where they have built a small ring of stones and had a fire, the ground still holding a faint, residual warmth and the sharp, acrid smell of ash. These signs are a puzzle to you. They speak of a creature that is not like any other, a creature that makes things, a creature that controls fire, a creature with a mind that works in a different and perhaps more complex way than your own. You observe them from a great distance when you can. You will crest a ridge and see the smoke from their campfire rising from a sheltered camp in the valley below. You will see their small, fur-clad figures moving around the fire, and you will hear the faint, distant, and bizarre sound of their voices, a complex and musical chattering that is their form of communication. You do not see them as prey. They are too clever, too dangerous, with their sharp, pointed sticks that can fly through the air. You do not see them as a direct threat, for they keep their distance. You see them as a mystery. You see them as the other pack, They are the only other creature in this world that hunts in a large, intelligent, and cooperative family group. Just like you, you are two great, successful, and intelligent predators, sharing the same harsh, Ice Age world. For now, you are rivals. You hunt the same prey. You walk the same land. You are aware of each other. You respect each other's strength, and you keep a cautious distance. But the world is changing. The great ice is melting. The giant herds are beginning to thin, and the shared, desperate need for survival will soon force you and this other, strange two-legged pack onto a new and shared path. A path that will lead to a bond that will change the future of the entire planet. Let us now shift our perspective from the warm, breathing den of the wolf pack to a different kind of warmth, a different kind of family. Miles away, in a temporary shelter made of mammoth hides and woven branches, a young human hunter awakens. His world is not defined by the scent of his pack, but by the light and heat of a single, precious thing, the fire. We see the world now from his perspective. The fire is the center of his universe. It is a small, domesticated sun that holds back the immense, crushing darkness and the terrible cold of the Ice Age night. He feels its radiant warmth on his face, a comforting and life-giving presence that is the foundation of his survival. The fire is safety. It keeps the great cave bears and the saber-toothed cats at bay, their predatory eyes wary of its dancing, unpredictable light. It is a magical, protective circle that defines the boundary between his small, human world and the great, dangerous wilderness outside. It is also the heart of his family. He looks around the small, smoky shelter and sees the other members of his tribe, their faces illuminated by the soft, flickering orange glow. They are huddled together, their bodies wrapped in thick furs, their collective warmth adding to the heat of the fire. The fire is community. It is the place where they share their food, where they mend their tools, where the elders tell the stories of their people, the stories of great hunts and ancient spirits. The first task of his morning is to tend to this sacred fire. He carefully adds a few pieces of dry wood, his movements slow and practiced. He understands, with an intelligence that is different from yours but no less profound, that the fire is life. Without it, his family would freeze. Without it, their food would be raw and hard to digest. Without it, their world would be a world of darkness and fear. The smoke from the fire rises up through a small hole in the roof of the shelter, and it carries the scent of their existence out into the world, the smell of burning wood, of roasting meat, of human life. This scent is a declaration, a statement of their presence in this vast, wild land. It is a scent that you, the wolf, have smelled from a great distance. A scent that is a source of deep and profound mystery to you, while your pack marks its territory with howls and scent markings. The humans mark theirs with this strange, warm, and pungent smoke. It is the signature of their own unique and powerful pack. This reliance on an external source of warmth is a fundamental difference between your two species. Your warmth comes from within, a biological furnace fueled by the food you eat. Their warmth comes from this fire, a tool they must constantly feed and protect. This makes them, in some ways, more vulnerable. If the fire goes out, they are in grave danger, but it also makes them more resourceful. They have learned to control a force of nature, to bring a piece of the sun down to earth and keep it in their home. This intelligence, this ability to manipulate the world around them, is their greatest strength, their most powerful weapon. It is what allows a small, slow, and physically weak creature to survive, and even to thrive, in this harsh and brutal Ice Age world. The fire is a testament to their ingenuity, a symbol of a new kind of power that is beginning to emerge on the planet. As the young hunter stares into the hypnotic dancing flames, he feels a sense of deep and primal connection to it. The fire is a living thing, a member of his tribe. It is a protector, a provider, a source of light in a dark world. It is the thing that separates him from the wild beasts, the thing that makes him human. He does not know that miles away, another young hunter, a wolf, is experiencing the world through a completely different set of senses, a different set of truths. He does not know that his scent, the scent of his fire and his family, is a source of great mystery to you. He only knows that the fire is good, that it is safe, and that it is the center of his entire world. The young hunter now prepares for the day's hunt. He steps out of the smoky shelter and into the cold, bright morning. And we can now observe the world through his senses and see how different they are from your own. His primary sense is his sight. His eyes are sharp and intelligent, capable of seeing a wide spectrum of color, of perceiving depth, of tracking movement with great accuracy. He looks out over the vast, snowy landscape, and he sees a world of incredible detail. He can distinguish the different shades of green on the distant pine trees. He can see the subtle difference in the texture of the snow that might indicate a hidden animal trail. His world is a rich and vibrant tapestry of light and color, but his other senses are weak, almost useless, compared to yours. He lifts his head and sniffs the air. He can smell the clean, cold scent of the snow and the sharp, pleasant scent of the pine trees, but he cannot smell the faint, musky trail of the elk herd that passed this way an hour ago. He cannot smell the distant promise of a coming snowstorm. His world of scent is a small and simple room compared to the vast, complex library that you can read on every breeze. His hearing, too, is limited. He can hear the caw of a raven in a nearby tree. He can hear the crunch of his own feet on the hard-packed snow. He can hear the whisper of the wind, but he cannot hear the frantic, tiny heartbeat of a mouse deep beneath the snow. He cannot hear the deep, resonant groan of the glacier shifting miles away. His world of sound is a world of the immediate, of the obvious. It is a world without the deep, subtle, and secret music that you are so intimately familiar with. He is a creature of the surface of things, a being who perceives only the loudest and most apparent parts of the world around him. He does not have your deep, sensory connection to the hidden life of the forest. His senses do not provide him with a perfect, three-dimensional map of his surroundings. They provide him with a simple, two-dimensional picture, and so he must rely on other things. He relies on his intelligence, on his ability to think, to reason, to make connections. He cannot smell the elk herd, but he can see their tracks in the snow. He can analyze the depth of the tracks to judge the size of the animals. He can see which way they are heading. He can look at the sky and see the gathering clouds and, from past experience, predict that a storm is coming. His mind is his greatest sensory organ. It is the tool he uses to compensate for the weakness of his nose and his ears. He must think his way through the world, a world that you simply feel your way through. And most importantly, he relies on his pack, his tribe. He is not hunting alone. He is hunting with his father, his uncles, his brothers. They will work together, using their collective intelligence to overcome the challenges of the hunt. They will communicate with a complex spoken language, sharing information, making plans, coordinating their actions. Their strength is not in their individual bodies, but in their shared minds. This is the great secret of the human hunter. They are physically weak, their senses are dull, but they are intelligent, they are adaptable, and they are, like you, a profoundly social and cooperative creature. From a high rocky ridge, the young human hunter and his father stop and survey the vast, snowy valley below. Their sharp eyes are scanning for any sign of movement, for the dark shapes of a herd of bison or elk, and they see it. Not their prey, but their rivals. Far below, on the floor of the valley, a long grey line is moving through the trees. It is your wolf pack. The human hunter watches you with a deep and profound respect. He does not see a random group of animals. He sees another hunting party, a pack that is as organized, as intelligent, and as successful as his own. He admires your skill, your endurance, your perfect and silent coordination. He knows that you are the only other creature in this world that can hunt the great megafauna with such success. He watches as your pack begins a hunt. He sees you spread out, a silent, grey net, surrounding a small group of isolated musk ox. He sees the way you test the herd, the way you communicate with each other with a simple flick of an ear or a subtle shift in posture. He sees the lead hunters make the charge, and he sees the incredible, coordinated power of the pack as you work together to bring down one of the great, shaggy beasts. He watches this display of predatory perfection, and he does not feel hatred or anger. He feels a deep, professional respect. You are the other hunters. You are the other pack. And he knows that you are very, very good at what you do. He has been taught to see you as a rival, as a competitor for the same scarce resources. But as he watches you, he also sees a reflection of his own tribe. He sees a family working together to provide for its young. He sees a complex social structure with leaders and followers, with rules and rituals. He sees a deep and powerful bond of loyalty and cooperation. He sees that you and he are not so different. You are both social hunters, living in large, complex, family groups, trying to survive in a harsh and unforgiving world. You are two different answers to the same question of survival. He raises a hand and points you out to his father. They speak in low, quiet tones, their words a sign of their respect for your power. They will not be hunting in this valley today. This valley belongs to you, for now. They will move on to a different part of their territory. It is an unspoken rule of the Ice Age world. The two great hunting packs, the wolves and the men, give each other a wide and respectful berth. The land is large enough for you both, but only if you are wise enough to avoid direct conflict. And so, the human hunter turns away, leaving you to your successful kill. His respect for you, his rival, deeper than ever before. The world you both inhabit is not just a world of predators and prey. It is a world of shared dangers, of great and powerful forces that threaten you both equally. As the human hunting party moves on, they travel through a narrow, rocky canyon. Here, they find the tracks of another, greater predator. They are immense, round tracks, armed with long, sharp claws. It is the track of a great cave bear, a creature of immense power and unpredictable fury, a creature that even your pack, and even the humans, treat with extreme caution. The existence of this other, greater predator is a constant reminder that even the apex hunters are not at the very top of the food chain. It is a shared enemy, a shared danger that unites you in a common need for vigilance. The cold itself is your greatest shared enemy. A sudden, unexpected blizzard can be a death sentence for a lone wolf or a human hunter caught out in the open. A winter that is longer or colder than usual can mean starvation for both your packs. the struggle against the relentless, life-sapping cold is a battle that you both fight every single day of your lives. You both seek shelter in dens and caves. You both rely on the warmth of your family to survive the long, dark nights. This shared struggle against the harshness of the world is a powerful, unspoken bond between you. The scarcity of food is another shared enemy. When the great herds of mammoth and elk move on, when the hunting is poor, both your pack and the human tribe suffer. Both your families know the deep, gnawing pain of hunger. Both your parents know the terrible burden of having to provide for hungry young in a world of scarcity. This shared reality, this shared struggle to find enough food to survive, is the most fundamental connection between you. You are both defined by the hunt, by the constant, difficult, and often dangerous work of finding enough energy to live. This web of shared dangers creates a complex and nuanced relationship between you and the humans. You are rivals, yes, but you are also fellow travelers in a difficult and dangerous world. You are two different species with two different sets of tools facing the same fundamental problems. You both must contend with the cold, with the hunger, with the other, greater predators that share your world. And this shared reality, this common ground of struggle and survival, is the fertile soil in which the seeds of your future partnership will begin to grow. The day is ending. The human hunting party has been unsuccessful. They are making their way back to their camp, their bodies tired, their bellies empty. As they pass through a dense grove of pine trees, a strange and remarkable thing happens. A young, curious human, the same young hunter we have been following, strays a little from the path. He is drawn by the sight of a brightly colored bird. At the same time, a young, curious wolf from your pack have also been drawn to the same spot, your own youthful curiosity piqued by the same bird. For a moment, the two of you are separated from your respective families, and you see each other. You are perhaps 50 yards apart, two young creatures, standing in a quiet grove of trees. There is no aggression, there is no fear. There is only a moment of pure, open, and profound curiosity. You look at him. You see his strange, two-legged form. You see his soft, furless skin, his bright, intelligent eyes. You smell his strange, unfamiliar scent. He is the most bizarre and interesting creature you have ever seen. He, in turn, looks at you. He sees your beautiful, thick, grey fur. He sees your sharp, intelligent, golden eyes. He sees your powerful, graceful form. He does not see a monster. He sees a beautiful, wild, and powerful animal. He sees a fellow hunter. For a long, suspended moment, the two of you simply look at each other. The ancient barrier of rivalry and fear between your two species seems to dissolve. In this quiet moment, you are not a wolf, and he is not a man. You are simply two young, intelligent, and curious beings, meeting for the first time in the great, quiet forest. He does not reach for his spear. You do not lower your head and growl. You simply stand and observe each other, a silent acknowledgement of a shared world, a shared intelligence, a shared curiosity. It is a moment of pure, peaceful potential. Then the moment is broken. A call from his father pulls the young human back towards his family. A call from your mother pulls you back towards yours. You both turn and retreat, disappearing back into the safety of your respective packs. But the memory of the encounter remains. It is a small, quiet, and secret seed that has been planted in both of your minds. It is the seed of a revolutionary idea. The idea that perhaps you do not have to be rivals, that perhaps, Just perhaps, the world would be a less hungry, less dangerous, and less lonely place if you were to face it together. Let us now turn our focus from the small individual stories of wolf and man, and look at the great, slow story of the world itself. For the habitat you both inhabit is beginning to change in a way that is profound, fundamental, and unstoppable. For thousands of years, your world has been defined by the Great Ice Age, a long, deep, and stable period of intense cold. The great continental glaciers, miles thick, have been a constant presence on the northern horizon, their immense weight shaping the very land you walk on. The cold has been a reliable adversary, a known quantity. But now, a secret, powerful force is at work. The planet's long, slow, and complex orbital cycles are shifting. The Earth is tilting on its axis, its relationship with the Sun beginning a new chapter. And the world, as a result, is beginning to warm. This change is not a sudden event. It is a process so slow it is imperceptible to a single generation of men. And even to you, a wolf, it is just a subtle shift in the feeling of the seasons. But it is happening. The winters, while still brutal, are a fraction less cold than they were a century ago. The great, biting winds seem to have lost a small measure of their fury. The spring thaw comes a little earlier each year, and the heavy snows of autumn arrive a little later. The air itself feels different, carrying a new and unfamiliar humidity, a hint of a warmer, wetter world to come. This is the great thaw. It is the end of an era. The long, deep, and stable winter of the planet is ending, and a new, more volatile, and more unpredictable spring is on its way. The most dramatic evidence of this change is the great glaciers themselves. You stand on a high ridge and you look to the north, to the place where the world has always been, a wall of pure white ice. But now, you can hear a new sound on the wind. It is the sound of running water. For the first time in millennia, the great glaciers are melting. You see great, temporary waterfalls cascading from their edges. You see immense rivers of milky, silt-laden water carving new paths through the frozen tundra. The great, silent, and permanent ice sheets that have defined your world are now weeping. They are retreating, surrendering, inch by patient inch. Back to the north, this warming of the world is the great, secret force that will rewrite the rules of your existence, and the existence of every living thing. It will change the plants that grow, the air you breathe, and most importantly, the prey that you hunt. It is a slow, quiet, and immense environmental revolution, a change happening on a geological scale. You do not understand its cause, but you are about to feel its profound and dramatic effects. The very ground beneath your feet is changing, and this change will force you, and the strange two-legged hunters from the other pack, onto a new and shared path. The first and most significant consequence of this great thaw is a great and terrible dying. The world of the Ice Age was a world of giants. It was the age of the megafauna. You, as a wolf, are a hunter of these magnificent beasts. Your pack, with its size, its strength, and its sophisticated, cooperative strategies, was perfectly designed to hunt the colossal creatures that shared your world. You remember the great hunts. You remember the feeling of chasing a giant elk, its antlers a forest of bone. You remember the immense, shaggy form of a woolly rhinoceros, a living mountain of muscle and fury. And most of all, you remember the greatest of them all, the woolly mammoth. You remember the sight of a great herd of them, their massive, curved tusks sweeping the snow aside, their deep, rumbling calls, a fundamental part of your world's music. To hunt a mammoth was the ultimate test of your pack's strength and courage, a battle that was both sacred and necessary. A single, successful mammoth hunt could feed your family for an entire month. But as the world warms, these great creatures begin to disappear. The environment that they were so perfectly adapted to is vanishing. The cold, dry, grassy steppes that were their great pastures are being replaced by warmer, wetter bogs and dense, new forests. The plants they fed on are being replaced by new kinds of vegetation that they cannot eat. The great giants, these magnificent and powerful beings that have dominated the world for 100,000 years, are now struggling to survive. Their numbers begin to dwindle. The great herds become smaller, more scattered. The hunts become more difficult, more desperate. The human hunters, in their own camps, are experiencing the same new, harsh reality. They too are hunters of the megafauna. Their tools, their strategies, their very culture is built around the pursuit of the great mammoths and the giant elk. And they too are now finding that their prey is vanishing. The great, reliable source of food that has sustained them for generations is disappearing from the world. A new and terrible kind of hunger is entering the land, a hunger that affects every predator, both two-legged and four-legged. The great dying of the megafauna is a silent, slow-motion catastrophe, an extinction event that is unfolding all around you. This disappearance is the second great secret of the changing habitat. It is a secret that will force both you and the humans to adapt or to perish. The old world, the world of giants, is passing away, and a new, more difficult world is being born. The foundation of your existence, the great, abundant herds of prey, is crumbling beneath your feet. And you and your rivals, the human hunters, are now two starving packs. In a world that is no longer large enough or rich enough to easily support you both. The time of plenty is over. The time of struggle has begun. The warming world does not just take away, it also gives. As the great ice sheets retreat to the north, they leave behind a new kind of landscape. The vast, open, grassy tundras and cold steppes that were the hunting grounds of your ancestors begin to change. The barren, frozen soil, now free from the grip of the ice, begins to thaw, and new life takes root. The first to arrive are the grasses and the hardy shrubs, but they are quickly followed by trees. At first, it is just the small, tough birches and willows, but then come the great pines, the firs, and the spruce. Over the course of centuries, the open plains that you knew are replaced by a new kind of habitat, a dense, thick, and sprawling boreal forest. The world, which was once a single, vast, open room, is now becoming a house with 1,000 small, green, and shadowy corridors. This new world requires a new kind of hunting. The great herds of mammoths and giant elk, creatures of the open plains, are gone. They are replaced by a new kind of prey, creatures that are perfectly adapted to this new, forested world. Smaller, more agile deer, solitary, powerful moose, fast, elusive wild boar. These animals do not gather in immense, slow-moving herds. They are scattered, they are fast, and they are masters of using the dense forest for cover. The old way of hunting the great, open field, cooperative chases no longer effective. The new world requires a new set of skills. It requires more stealth, more patience, and a different kind of strategy. For your wolf pack, this is a difficult transition. You are a creature of the open plains, a long-distance runner. The dense forest is a confusing, claustrophobic environment. It is harder to track prey, harder to communicate with your packmates during a chase, harder to use your numbers as an advantage. The hunts become less successful. The hunger becomes more frequent. Your pack struggles to adapt to this new, darker, and more enclosed world. The rise of the forest is a secret that the habitat reveals slowly. A green tide that is changing the very nature of your existence. The human hunters face the same challenge. Their long throwing spears, so effective in the open tundra, are now clumsy and difficult to use among the thick trees. They too must learn new ways to hunt, new tools, new strategies, and this shared challenge, this shared struggle against a new and more difficult environment, has an unexpected consequence. It forces both your species into the same, smaller, more productive pockets of the landscape, the river valleys, the lake shores, the forest clearings. You are now hunting the same smaller prey in the same limited spaces. The competition should be fierce, the rivalry should be bloody, but instead, something remarkable, something that will change the course of history, is about to happen. The new, forested world has pushed you closer together. Your pack's territory and the human tribe's hunting grounds now overlap completely. You encounter each other with a new and growing frequency. At first, these encounters are tense. You observe the humans from a distance, your instincts telling you that these strange, two-legged creatures are a potential threat. They, in turn, see you and your pack as rivals, as dangerous predators. But the shared hardship of this new world, the constant, gnawing hunger, begins to change the nature of your relationship. You are no longer two successful packs competing for an abundance of food. You are two struggling families, trying to survive in a world of scarcity. A profound and unspoken understanding begins to develop between you. You start to learn from each other. You watch the humans, and you see how their intelligence allows them to succeed where you fail. You see them work together to drive a herd of deer into a trap. You see them use their sharp, stone-tipped spears to make a kill at a distance. They are not as strong as you, not as fast as you, but they are clever. They have a different kind of power, a power of the mind, and you begin to respect it. They, in turn, watch you. They see your incredible endurance, your ability to track a scent for days. They see the perfect, silent coordination of your pack as you surround a powerful, angry wild boar. They see your senses, so much sharper, so much more attuned to the forest than their own. And they begin to respect your power, your wild wisdom. You are no longer just rivals. You are now colleagues. You are two different kinds of predators, sharing the same space, hunting the same prey, and facing the same challenges. A silent, cautious, and deeply pragmatic form of communication begins to develop between you. Your pack learns to read the signs of the human hunters, to follow their trails, knowing that where there are humans, there may soon be a kill to scavenge from. The humans, in turn, learn to listen for your howls, knowing that your song can signal the location of prey or a warning of a greater danger. Like a cave bear, this common ground, born of a shared struggle, is the great secret of your changing world. The Ice Age forced a competition. The great thaw is now forcing a cautious, tentative, and deeply fragile form of cooperation. The ancient barrier of fear and rivalry between your two species is beginning to crack. The animosity is being replaced by a shared, grudging respect. And it is through this crack that a new and revolutionary idea is beginning to emerge, an idea that will lead to the most successful partnership the world has ever known. The moment arrives. It is not a grand, momentous event. It is a small, quiet, and deeply significant gesture. A hunting party of 3 humans has been tracking a large, wounded deer for 2 days. Your pack, lean and hungry, has been following the humans, drawn by the scent of the deer's blood. You have kept your distance, a pack of silent, grey shadows, watching and waiting. The humans are tired. They finally manage to corner the deer and make the kill. It is a good kill, a large animal that will feed their tribe for many days. They butcher the deer, taking the best cuts of meat, the hide, the skin. But then they do something that they have never done before. Instead of taking everything, they leave a significant portion of the carcass behind. They leave the ribs, the spine, the less desirable parts. But it is still a generous amount of meat, a treasure in this hungry world, and they leave it deliberately in an open clearing, a place where they know you can see it. Then they retreat, moving back to a respectful distance, and they watch. They are waiting. It is not an act of carelessness. It is an offering. It is an invitation. It is a test. It is a question being asked in the silent language of the hunt. We are both hungry. We are both hunters. Can we not, perhaps, work together? Your pack, hidden in the trees, watches with a cautious, intelligent curiosity. The alpha male, your father, is wary. His instincts tell him that humans are dangerous. But the smell of the fresh meat is an intoxicating, irresistible pull, and the gesture of the humans, their quiet, watchful retreat, is not a threat. It is something else. It is a sign of respect. It is a deliberate communication. After a long, tense, and silent wait, your father makes a decision. He moves slowly out into the clearing, towards the offering. The other members of the pack follow, their bodies low, their movements cautious. You approach the carcass. The humans remain still, watching. There is no aggression, no threat. There is only a shared, quiet, and profound moment of understanding. Your pack eats, and the humans watch. In this single, simple act, the ancient barrier between your two species is finally, truly broken. It is the first meal shared between man and wolf. It is the beginning of a negotiation, the first clause in a contract that will be written over thousands of years. It is the first, tentative, and most important step in the long journey that will transform you, the wild wolf, into the first and most loyal companion of mankind. The sun has set on the changing world. A deep, profound cold begins to settle over the new forest. A cold that feels sharper and more lonely now that you are without a pack. The hunger you feel is no longer a simple ache. It is a desperate, gnawing void, a constant reminder of your failure to hunt in this strange, new, and difficult landscape. But on the wind, there is a new scent, a scent that is both frightening and impossibly alluring. It is the scent of the human encampment. It is the smell of wood smoke, of strange human bodies, and, most powerfully, the rich, savory, and intoxicating smell of roasting meat. The scent is a promise of everything you need: warmth, safety, and food. Your deep, instinctual fear of these two-legged creatures is at war with the deep, desperate need of your starving body. You stand at the edge of a clearing, hidden in the shadows of the pine trees, and you watch the distant, flickering light of their campfire. It is a single, warm, golden star in a world of cold, blue snow. For hours, you simply watch, your fear and your hunger wrestling for control of your destiny. You take a tentative step forward, out of the darkness of the trees and into the pale, open moonlight of the clearing. Every instinct in your body is screaming at you to retreat. to stay hidden in the familiar safety of the shadows. But the hunger is a more powerful master. It pushes you forward, one slow, cautious step at a time. Your body is low to the ground, your tail is tucked between your legs in a gesture of non-aggression, of submission. You are not a proud hunter now. You are a beggar, a supplicant, approaching a strange and powerful god. The scent of the roasting meat is almost overwhelming, a beautiful and terrible perfume that makes your mouth water and your stomach ache with a fierce, demanding emptiness. You can hear the sounds of the human camp now, the low murmur of their strange, musical voices, the crackle of their magical fire. You are terrified, but you are also mesmerized. The pull of the fire, the pull of the food, the pull of this strange, powerful new pack is too strong to resist. You continue your slow, silent, and fearful approach. This single act is a betrayal of 100,000 years of wildness. It is a betrayal of the deep, instinctual animosity and fear that has always existed between your two species. You are a wolf, a creature of the wild, a being of independence and fierce pride, and you are willingly, deliberately, walking towards the strange, unpredictable, and dangerous world of man. You are choosing to abandon the rules of your old world in the desperate hope of being accepted into a new one. It is a gamble of immense proportions. It could end with a sharp, pointed stick in your side. It could end with you being driven back out into the cold, to starve alone in the darkness. But the hunger, and a deeper, more profound loneliness that you are only just beginning to understand, is forcing your paws forward. You reach the edge of the circle of firelight, the boundary between your world of cold and shadow and their world of warmth and light. You stop here, a silent grey spectre, your golden eyes reflecting the dancing flames. You are now close enough for them to see you. You have made your presence known. You have taken the first and most dangerous step. You have offered them a choice. Will they see you as a threat or as something else? The future of your entire species rests on the decision that the strange, two-legged creatures are about to make. You hold your breath and you wait. The humans see you. A sudden silence falls over their small camp. Their soft, musical chatter ceases. They have frozen. Their faces, illuminated by the firelight, are a mixture of fear and a deep, profound curiosity. One of the older humans, the leader of their small tribe, slowly reaches for a spear that is resting beside him. But another, younger, human, the same one you saw in the forest days ago, places a hand on the older man's arm and speaks in a low, soft, and reassuring tone. You do not understand the words, but you understand the feeling. It is not a feeling of aggression. It is a feeling of calm, of control, of a desire for peace. The old leader hesitates, his hand resting on the spear, but he does not lift it. The young hunter has won this small debate. The young human then does something that is so strange, so unexpected, that it rewrites every instinct in your body. He takes a piece of the roasted meat from the fire, a large, sizzling rib bone, and he holds it out. He looks directly at you, his eyes not full of the fear or aggression you would expect, but with a look of quiet, cautious invitation. He then gently, slowly, tosses the bone onto the snow, just a few feet in front of you, into the space between the darkness and the light. It lands with a soft thud, its rich, savory scent an almost unbearable torment to your starving senses. It is not a weapon. It is not a threat. It is a gift. It is an offering. It is the first, deliberate act of trust between your two species. You are wary. This could be a trap. Your wild instincts tell you to flee, to retreat back into the safety of the dark forest. But the hunger is a powerful, screaming voice in your belly, and the gesture of the human, his calm posture, his soft gaze, speaks a language that you are beginning to understand. It is a language of peace. After a long, tense moment, you take another cautious step forward. You lower your head, your eyes never leaving the human, and you gently, quickly, pick up the bone in your mouth. The taste is a revelation. It is the taste of cooked meat, a flavor you have never experienced before, rich, smoky, and deeply, wonderfully satisfying. You do not eat it here, in front of them. You retreat a few steps back into the shadows to consume your prize. This single piece of meat is more than just food. It is a contract. It is a bridge between two worlds. It is a gesture that says, I see you. I respect you. I am not your enemy. You finish the bone, the taste of it, a memory you will never forget, and you look back at the humans. They are still watching you, their fear now replaced by a look of quiet awe and wonder. You do not run away. You lie down in the snow, just at the edge of the firelight, your belly now warm with a small measure of food, and you watch them. You have decided to stay. You have decided to trust. The first and most important step in your long journey of domestication is complete. Days pass, and then weeks. A new and strange routine begins to form. You do not join the human tribe, not yet, but you do not leave them either. You have become a satellite, a silent, grey shadow that orbits their small, noisy, and fascinating world. You learn their rhythms. You learn the sound of their voices, the scent of their bodies, the patterns of their daily lives. They are a strange and wonderful pack. They do not have the speed or the strength of your kind, but they have other, more powerful tools. They have their clever hands, which can shape stone and wood into sharp, deadly points. They have their complex, musical language, which allows them to plan, to strategize, to share knowledge in a way that your own pack never could. And most of all, they have their fire, that magical, warm, and domesticated star that they carry with them wherever they go. You begin to understand the benefits of this strange new alliance. The humans are messy hunters. They often leave behind the scraps of their kills, the parts they do not want, and these scraps become a reliable source of food for you. You no longer have to endure the long, desperate, and often unsuccessful hunts of a lone wolf. You have become a patient and successful scavenger, your belly now consistently full for the first time since you were separated from your family. In return, you offer them your own unique skills, a silent and unspoken payment for their generosity. Your senses are a gift to them. At night, you rest at the edge of their camp, and you act as their sentinel. Your sharp ears can detect the faint sound of a lurking cave bear or a prowling saber-toothed cat long before their own dull senses would notice the threat. When you detect danger, you let out a low, soft growl, a quiet alarm that the humans have quickly learned to understand and to trust. You have become their early warning system, a living alarm bell that guards their sleep. Your presence keeps other, more timid predators away from their camp. You are a guardian, a protector. You are no longer just a scavenger. You are a contributing member of this new, strange, mixed species pack. You have found a new role, a new purpose. You are still a wolf, but you are something else now, too. You are a partner. This new life is a strange one. You miss the deep, instinctual communion of your own kind, the shared joy of the pack howl, the familiar warmth of the den. But you have found a new kind of companionship. You have found a new kind of security. You have found a new kind of family. It is a family built not on shared blood, but on a shared, pragmatic, and growing sense of mutual respect and trust. It is a strange, new, and wonderful kind of pack. A pack made of two different species, two different kinds of intelligence, two different sets of skills, working together to survive in a difficult and changing world. The seasons begin to turn. The deep, brutal cold of the Ice Age winter begins to settle over the land. The nights grow longer, the winds grow sharper, and the snow falls deeper. One evening, a particularly vicious snowstorm descends upon the forest. The wind howls with a terrible fury, and the air is a blinding chaos of white. You are at your usual spot, at the edge of the camp, curled up in a shallow snow den you have dug for yourself. But tonight, your thin summer coat is not enough to keep the deep, biting cold at bay. You are shivering, your body trembling with a cold that seeps into your very bones. The humans are in their shelter, safe and warm by their great, roaring fire. You can see the warm orange light glowing through the hides of their tent. You can smell the comforting scent of the smoke, and you feel a deep, profound, and desperate longing to be in there with them, to be a part of that warmth. The young hunter, the one who threw you the first bone, emerges from the shelter to add more wood to the fire. He sees you. He sees your small, shivering form, curled up in the snow, enduring the fury of the storm alone. He looks at you for a long moment, his own face illuminated by the firelight, and in his eyes you see an emotion you have not seen there before. You see a deep and profound empathy. He sees not a wild animal, not a rival, not a tool. He sees a fellow creature, suffering in the cold. He turns and says something in a low, soft voice to the others inside the shelter. The old leader, his father, appears at the entrance. He looks at you, and then he looks at his son, and after a long, silent moment, he gives a slow, single nod. The young hunter turns back to you. He does not approach you, for he knows that would frighten you. Instead, he makes a gesture of pure, simple kindness. He gently pats the ground just inside the circle of firelight, a spot that is sheltered from the wind and is bathed in the immense, wonderful warmth of the fire. He makes a soft, low, clicking sound with his tongue, a sound of gentle invitation. And then he retreats back into the shelter, leaving the choice to you. The invitation is clear. You do not have to be out there in the cold. There is a place for you here by the fire. You are welcome here. You are one of us. You are faced with a decision that will seal your destiny and the destiny of your entire species. Do you trust them? Do you abandon the wild world of your ancestors and take the final step into the strange, new world of man? You look at the howling, dark, and frozen forest behind you, and you look at the warm, safe, and welcoming glow of the fire in front of you, and you make a choice. You rise from your cold bed of snow. Your movements are slow, cautious, deliberate. You take a tentative step forward, out of the darkness and into the warm, flickering circle of firelight. The humans inside their shelter are silent, watching you, their faces full of a quiet, hopeful anticipation. You can feel the intense, wonderful heat of the fire on your fur, a sensation so blissful it is almost painful. You continue to walk, step by cautious step, until you reach the spot on the ground that the young hunter patted. It is a patch of dry earth, warmed by the fire, and it is the most inviting place you have ever seen. You circle the spot once, a deep, instinctual habit, and then you lie down. A great, deep sigh of pure, unadulterated contentment escapes your body. The warmth seeps into your cold, aching bones, a feeling of profound and total relief. You are inside their world now. You are inside the circle of the fire. You are surrounded by the strange, but no longer frightening, scents and sounds of the human family. You can hear their soft, rhythmic breathing as they too begin to settle down for the night. You can feel the deep, comforting warmth of the fire on your skin. You are no longer an outsider, a satellite, a lonely shadow at the edge of their world. You are a part of it. You are a member of this strange, new, and wonderful pack. You have found a new family. You have found a new home. You rest your head on your paws, and you look at the sleeping human forms around you. They are so fragile, so soft, so furless. But they are also so intelligent, so resourceful, and so, in their own strange way, kind. You have chosen to trust them, and they have chosen to trust you. And in this moment, a new and powerful bond is forged, a bond that will be passed down through 1,000 generations of wolves and 1,000 generations of men. It is the beginning of the most successful and most enduring partnership the world has ever known. You close your eyes. The howling of the wind outside is just a distant, unimportant song. The gnawing hunger in your belly is forgotten. The deep, aching loneliness that has been your constant companion is gone, replaced by a feeling of warmth, of safety, and of a profound peace you have not known since you were a tiny pup, sleeping in a pile with your brothers and sisters. You are no longer just a wolf. You are not yet a dog. You are something new, something in between. You are a companion. You are a friend, and lulled by the gentle crackle of the fire and the soft, rhythmic breathing of your new, strange, and two-legged pack, you fall into the deepest, most peaceful, and most restorative sleep of your entire life.